Check, check. And one more check. And one more check. Good morning, people. Or good evening. Welcome back to the stream. Or welcome for the first time. Hope you're all having a swell Sunday. Just getting the old wet palette re-moistened first, like usual. I'm feeling like before I actually get to the brushwork, I'm gonna have to do a initial trip to the bathroom. We'll see. Give people some time to roll in. Good morning, Gerard. Welcome back. Like usual, let me know how the mic volume and music volume are. Or if it sounds fine, you don't have to say anything. If it sounds off, let me know. Ugh, starting the stream half an hour later today, but I feel more tired. What's up with that? Okay, palette has been re-moistened. Now let's figure out what pieces we're gonna work on. Got our dust-proof box here. So weapons done, this foot is done, so are these shoulders. So the pieces that aren't finished, I think I need to turn the music down just a notch. Got these two waist thrusters done. Right, so the stuff that isn't done, let's just move it over to this side. Alright, so this leg is ready to get some freehand. But I haven't blocked out the freehand pattern for the legs yet, and that takes a bit more energy. So I think what I might do first is finish the purple edge highlight on this, because the black edge highlight on this, or the second round of it, is done anyways. And get the freehand done on those. After that, I'll see how I'm feeling after that. If I'm a bit more tired than usual, I might have to finish the rest of this stage off stream. But I'll tell you right now, I'm planning on doing another stream tomorrow evening. And you can see the very subtle difference in the purple edge highlighting. You can see this one had the second pass, and this one hasn't. You can also see the black sections at the bottom here. You can see how I edge highlighted them differently. I think like this one looks better. So when I'm finishing the black edge highlight, come on camera, focus. So when I'm finishing the black edge highlight, I'll probably like redo it on this one. Should probably get that glove on. Let's just blow the initial dust away. And the legs are very prominent on Barbatos, so I gotta make sure I make the freehand pattern extra nice. Just like I did with the aerial. Now let's see what we've got for reactivatable paint. Not much, really. But let's start by just seeing what we can get. mean, this doesn't look bad. I think we should add just a bit of paint for our highlight mix. Which was a little drop of this custom rose pink mix, a little drop of Leo pink, and a large chunk, dollop of beaten purple. You know, those are my very exacting terms. Yeah, we only want like a teeny tiny bit of this. Good morning, Bravin and Fangire Saga. You did subscribing and painted your kit with Liquitex Basics. Yeah, Liquitex Basics, I bet you would have to thin a lot. Well, nice work anyways. It's always worth celebrating a finished paint job. What was the kit that you painted and scribed, Bravin? Ooh, I feel like I eyeballed that mix perfectly. And when we go back to the freehand blocking in, all we'll need to do is just add a little dollop of the beaten purple. All right. This is the one that needs to be done. Okay, let's try and paint for a bit. I don't think I need to use the washroom yet. The Master Grade RMS 179 GM2. A good old gym. Alright, here we go. It's edge highlighting time, fam. About to find out if I mixed the color right. I'll finish this kind of triangle-shaped section on the back, let it dry, and then compare to the other piece to find out for sure. Looks like we could be just a little brighter, actually. Let's get that taken care of. Gotta be careful not to overdo it though. I mean, really, I played myself in doing all these eyeballed custom mix and just assuming I could recreate it perfectly each time. That's kind of the Model Mayhem way, though. You're currently building a Zoid gun sniper. Very nice. What animal is that Zoid look like? Yeah, and I'm not gonna bother comparing this tone that I mixed up with the other leg, because I know at this point it's like close enough that I shouldn't dedicate any more time to mixing it exactly right. It's definitely close enough that like 99% of people won't notice if it's slightly off on at the finished stage. Good morning, Cyber Scorpio. I'm glad my advice worked for you, Braven. Nice. The Velociraptor covered in guns. Those are my favorite kinds of Zoids. I mean, they're all pretty sweet, but if I was to do a Zoid, I'd want to do a dinosaur one, probably a Velociraptor. Excuse me. I'd take any of the dinosaur ones, though, let's be real. I'm drinking coffee, so I don't think I'm gonna break the burp record. I might take this stream off on the whole updating the burp counter every time. Tomorrow's stream, assuming it'll happen, will be an evening stream though, so I'll definitely be cracking a can of Crispy Conk Zero. See if we can get that burp record into the double digits. I love it when there's a nice gap in the armor here. You can have the shifter paint shine through nice and prominently. Onto the side bit. Just gonna be quite the there's a lot of spots on the leg that are like very nice canvases for the freehand. Or I think they'll be. Yeah, a basic color change to the Zoids, like changing the weapons from a dark gray to a metallic will go a long way. Could probably get away with using a rattle can too if you want to do it quickly. In your collection, you got the HMM Liger Zero with all 3 armor sets to change it to the Jagger, Schneider, and Panzer. I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty rad. Blade Liger, I'm assuming that's some sort of feline-esque Zoid. Can I switch to the smaller brush now? Blue cat with lots of guns and big fold-out swords. Hell yeah. This part didn't even get the initial edge highlight, I see. Interesting. Well, I think I can just do that quick with some old paint at the edge of the purple here. Not gonna be perfect, but it'll do in a pinch. So that happened with one of the arm pieces earlier too. Or like before I did any streaming this weekend, there was an arm piece where I was just like, oh, I just didn't do any of the initial purple edge highlight there. Oops, hand slipped. Gotta mop that up. Saved. Looks like I'll have just enough of this shade mixed up on the palette to finish this edge highlight. All according to Keikoku. Almost done. The Genosaur. What's that Zoid like? Thank you, Mr. Bear. Does my hand cramp up sometimes? Yes, sometimes. It's more if I... Usually I'm good for like at least 3 hours of painting each day. It's like when I start to go more than 3 hours, yeah, that's like when the hand cramps start to get more noticeable, especially like with the brush hand, I'll like brace with my pinky a lot of times, so the pinky will get sore. It does kind of depend, like if I'm painting with a miniature handle, like because I'm painting a mini, it won't cramp up as bad. But yeah, if I'm like pushing for more than like 3 hours of painting in a day, we're gonna get some cramping for sure. Or like there's like multiple days in a row with like many hours of painting and no like rest day. The hand will have less time to recover. I guess I feel a bit lucky though, because the hand cramps aren't too bad. What I gotta worry about more is like the back cramps probably, or the shoulder cramps. At least when I'm like streaming regularly, like I'm trying to do now, it gives me a decent way to like have planned breaks. Like yesterday, I didn't do any painting other than on the stream, so it was like 2.5 hours of painting in the day, and then, I mean, when I'm after the stream today, I'll probably pretty close to like reaching the next stage where I'm gonna like take a 360 shot of this and some work in progress photos. So I'll probably do some painting off stream today. But you know, if I've got like 3 or 4 days in a row where I've got streams planned, then that's like an easy way to be like, okay, well, I'll be painting roughly 3 hours a day. That's like good progress if I can do that every day in a row. And once I get that stream done, I don't have to worry too much about doing that much more painting in that day. Give the hand some time to rest. But you know, sometimes like today I'll do some more painting than just the stream, just so I can like get to the stage where I take the work in progress photos and all that. A big black and purple dino with a couple small guns in the back, but Godzilla-esque railgun breath weapon. Ooh, that sounds cool. I like all this Zoids lore that's being dropped in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna add a dollop of just straight up beaten purple to the palette for the shade needed to block in the freehand. And now this is where I gotta start using more of my brain power, because I haven't come up with the pattern for either of the legs yet. But you know, once we do one leg, the other leg just gets copied. Usually I'll do the smaller sections first. And like, because they're less consequential. It's like this section here. Part of it will be obscured by the waist thruster, so it'll be kind of inefficient to spend a ton of time on it. But you know, I still want to do something. All right, it's apostrophe time. So let's see. Start the dot there. Add the curl going up. Then the other side we can kind of do one that matches. Or maybe... let's get... Trying to think it. This piece will, or this section will be more visible than the one next to it, so we can get a bit fancier. Do a dot there. A dot there, and then they'll both curve down. And connect with a little bow. And then... Then I'll do another dot here. And I'll just curve down like that. And this area up here, I could do something, but it's pretty skinny and might be obscured, so I'm not going to. But this shape here, it will be obscured, but it's a big enough shape, like I definitely gotta do something. And I'm feeling like a similar shape to that we did here. I think, yeah. Let's do... that's a good question, actually. Maybe I'll do the bow this way. And we'll connect to a dot there. And maybe I won't do a second dot, I'll just do a second curve. And it's pretty transparent. So let's add just a bit more to define it. All right. We'll focus on doing this whole side, and then we can just replicate it to the other side without thinking too hard. Here on this little section, I'm just feeling one basic apostrophe. Don't need much else there. All right, now this shape is decently large. And so let's start. We're going to have two curves filling this negative space. And so I think this one will curve into the apostrophe like so. And this one, we might as well somewhat match that. Before I fill in this negative space here, I'm gonna start at the bottom here. Medium apostrophe. But let's add, let's add a little curve through it there. And we can start a new apostrophe up here. Oh, sorry, we're not in focus. Start a new apostrophe. Curl it down. Now to fill in the negative space, what are we gonna do? Zoids on Cartoon Network back when it was still good. I'm assuming CN means Cartoon Network. Some good shows from there. It's a shame it's not really a thing anymore. My favorite Cartoon Network show was Samurai Jack, I think. Okay, let's do a little bow here. turn it into a little V. And now I think I'll turn this part of the V into an apostrophe, actually. And this part might as well be too. Now we gotta get a bit fancier, the space in the middle. Doing a purely vibes-based approach. Alright, well, we'll go with that for now. I can always change my mind later if I don't like it. A pterosaur sounds like a fun Zoid. There was a big Conquest announcement recently. They're gonna be releasing a massive Quetzalcoatlus or whatever you call it esque model, ridden by an orc. You know, so you can have a Woodruin army where it's like you got a Brontosaurus, a T-Rex, and a Quetzalcoatlus. I'm probably saying the name wrong there. And then you can have your Triceratops cavalry, your Raptor cavalry, and just go full dino. Alright. The side of the leg here, we'll start with an apostrophe right. Don't want to have too much paint on the brush. And we're gonna attach another apostrophe to it. And I'm going to move down to the bottom and work my way up. Part of me was wondering with this project whether I should try and like leave more negative space within the freehand designs. But I also, well, I was faced with a bit of a dilemma because I didn't want to make the designs look too different from the other two in the crew. Okay. Now let's just move to the other side of this leg and copy everything we just did. I would like Primal. I have seen Primal. I've seen just season 1 of Primal, and it was very good. Indeed, Tartakovsky is pretty based, I'd say. Okay, we got a little dot going back that way. We got a dot starting here, curving down. We do this, and then we do that. My go-to music genre? Yeah, my music tastes are all over the place. Sometimes I'm in like just a straight up new metal mood, like throw some corn on. But if you go by my recent Spotify activity, it's been lots of, I guess, like I don't know if you call it indie pop or like I've been listening to a lot of Muna and The Japanese House, and I'm not entirely sure what genre to put those in. But also like decent amount of soundtrack stuff like Yoko Kanno, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex soundtrack. Listen to that a lot because it's great. Sometimes I'm in the mood for some shitposty rap music. I'll listen to Zach Fox. Sometimes I'll listen to Kendrick Lamar if I want some more serious rap music. Dungeons and Lasers, Dracula's the Cunning. Nice. Is that like a vampire? Sounds like a vampire. Oh, it's a green dragon with red in the wings. I mean, that's cool. The only music genre is all genres. Oh, hello, Artie Chard. As much as I don't like Spotify as a company, their algorithm has shown me some cool new music. I've also just found lots of cool new music through anime OPs, like Ghost in the Shell standalone complex 2045, the like most recent installment, was like memed on a bit because it was like all CGI and it like didn't look great. But the OP for the first season is by Millennium Parade. The song's called Fly With Me and it's an amazing song. And the album is pretty good too. Yeah, I am copying what I did on the other side, but I think if we if we looked at these, like did a direct comparison side by side of these two, they wouldn't be super matchy. That's okay, you won't ever be able to see like both sides of the leg at the same time. And back to music genre. Sometimes you just like need to blast some Linkin Park, you know? Linkin Park just keeps aging like wine. In my opinion. Linkin Park is one of my karaoke bar fallbacks. Okay, we've done the sides now. Hello, Roban Hood. Thank you for calling my paint job smexy. A bright and royal purple for the base sounds appropriate for a fancy green dragon called Draculus the Cunning. I'll have to try and remember to check it out on your Twitter. I give you permission to nudge me on Twitter to look at your dragon pic. Now the back of the thigh, it is just a blank square asking for some freehand on it, but it's going to be partially covered, so I'm only just going to do a little basic dot, turn into apostrophes, and connect with a bow. That's it. But this spot on the back, this is a spot for some well-intentioned freehand. Let me just think here. An apostrophe there. With a matching one on the other side. Almost looks like a face now. That's not what I want to go for, though. Okay, let's do... add another apostrophe right below it. That sneaks into this corner. Okay, now, let's see. I'm feeling like maybe a bit of a diamond shape, kind of like that exists on the side panels. Just gonna do a curve, connecting into this curve. Maybe I'll just add a second. It looks a little uneven now, but we'll be able to tidy that up in the cleanup phase. Okay. Let's see, we gotta do... Okay, I think I'll do a design right at the bottom of this long panel here. Suppose I could maybe do something at the top. Yeah, and then we got the front bit, and then that's pretty much it for this. Like, oh wait, we gotta do the front of the thigh as well, just a little bit. When I'm done the freehand on this thigh, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break and then get the freehand on the other leg done. Almost at 1 hour, nice, nice. Alright, let's see. Let's start at the smaller panel at the bottom here. Don't need much, I think just one little apostrophe. And we can do something similar over here with an apostrophe, but we'll add a little extra curve to it. Alright, then for the front bit of the leg, just have an apostrophe here. And then a slightly fancier apostrophe down here. By fancier, I mean, let's turn it, we'll get two interconnected apostrophes. Yeah. Oh, that was the wrong direction. Thankfully, I could just rub that off right away. Yeah, we're supposed to go this way. Those shapes are a little uneven. It's okay though. Now the more I'm looking at this empty space in here, I am kind of like, maybe I should do something. But okay, maybe I'll just add no apostrophes, just a little. Just a few curvy boys. Could always remove it later if I change my mind. It'll add some undesirable brush stroke detail, but there's enough freehand to distract from that. Alright, just one little section left on this leg. Okay, Fangire Saga, I will look at your dragon after the stream. I am a sucker for dragons, so... 99% of the time, I'm down to look at someone's dragon pics. Okay, well, I'm feeling... Let's do two curvy lines. Connect with a bow. And we'll do some apostrophe at the bottom. And maybe we could do a little diamond shape. I don't know if we've done the diamond shape on any of the other pieces so far, but it's showed up like a few times on the leg, so that'll help it not stand out too much. Okay, freehand on this leg is done. It's time for me to refill my coffee and have a quick bathroom break. How's the ASMR of the glove being taken off? Is that awful? Okay, be back in a few minutes, people. Hang tight. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, Cyberscorpio, there isn't currently a way to really send direct messages on YouTube. It's probably for the best. It's also probably for the best that you can't post photos in comment sections. Yeah, it is a bit awkward though if you don't use the typical soul draining social media platforms. Yeah, maybe that'd be something nice to implement for like just live stream chats maybe in the future. The problem is there's just like gives too many opportunities for bad actors to just spam the shit out of it. There used to be YouTube DMs. Does anyone remember that? I remember trying to send someone a YouTube DM in like 2014 and then they never responded. Or they did like months later because they're like, oh wow, I just checked these. All right, let's just remoisten paint on here and get the freehand on the other leggy done. there's a way for me to... Yeah, I kind of just have to take this off the skewer to have a good spot to just look at it for copying. And here we go. Easy. I think there's a particle of somewhat dried paint that got painted onto the surface there. All right, I'm gonna work top down this time, so let's do the top of the leg. Okay, I gotta make sure I get the direction right. So the narrow side, we just have a curve. Yeah, I probably made this joke with one of my other free-handed projects. Or somewhere just in general about like, okay, wide end, we get the bracket going down. About how like, oh, if like I drew the pattern wrong on one side compared to the other, or if like there's a squiggle going the wrong direction than it should, then like I can always just think of it as comment bait. Someone will be like, oh, you did something wrong there. Then I'll be like, huh, thanks for the engagement. Hello, Clayton. Thanks for dropping by. Oh, you just started doing D&D commissions. Nice for your friends and your local D&D players in your area. Yeah, it sounds like you should just protect your Discord piece, Cyber Scorpio. Just Discord for your friends. No need to overcomplicate it. If I ever made a Discord server, would you join it though? And the slightly different angle this thigh piece was locked in at makes it almost look like it's a different shape for some reason. Yeah, I did some D&D commissions back in the day, just for like friends that I was playing D&D with. Those are my very first commissions, so of course I very much undercharged. So you would join it, you'd just be a lurker, Cyber Scorpio. Yeah, I was like off Facebook, or I had like deactivated my Facebook for a solid like, I want to say it was probably a year and a half. But I had to reactivate it for the sake of like local stuff that was happening, because it's just like certain, or I guess like just among wargamers, Facebook is kind of like popular, at least in terms of like organizing events. And, you know, non-gaming events as well. I mean tabletop gaming, that is. So regrettably, I kind of have to have Facebook, especially for like the Conquest Vanguard organizing activities. But, you know, you find ways to manage it. I do, you know, there's still some decent entertainment that comes out of it. Like, I joined a group the other day just for like posting about the Jak and Daxter game series, and that has just filled my Facebook feed with mostly wholesome Jak and Daxter posting, so I can't really complain about that. I think it's called Jak and Daxter Repli posting or something, or precursor posting. Yeah, and with my Conquest Vanguard organizing activities, it's basically everything I do is duplicated between like a local Discord group and a local Facebook group. But it's like I also need to be in Facebook groups for like neighboring regions and like Utah and whatnot, because sometimes people like to go on little road trips to travel to each other's tournaments. Especially with smaller non-Games Workshop games. It's worth the hassle of being on Facebook if I can successfully organize a wargaming event, though, because pulling off a successful wargaming event feels good, and also the events tend to be pretty fun. Especially if I have someone to help out with the tournament judging process, and then I can actually play myself. I prefer to like do all the upfront like logistical organization and like prize gathering work, and then when the day of the event comes, I just have to like, I can actually play, and like I still have to worry about taking a few pictures and all that. Of course, if I win, I usually forfeit my prizes, because I gathered the prizes in the first place with the intention of spreading them around. Although when I won Best Painted at the last tournament, I did keep the gift card for myself. That one was done by vote, so. Thank you, Artie Chard. Yeah, that's the hard part, Clayton, is to get... Yeah, you gotta avoid getting locked in the scroll. It's very difficult. Because it's designed to keep you in the scroll. Fangry Saga Vanguard. The Vanguard program is just... It's part of the tabletop game I play, Conquest. Made by the company Parabellum. They have, like, a volunteer program. It's like a volunteer program with sometimes you get product perks. You don't do it for the product perks. If you're doing it for that, then like the effort is not worth it. You do it because you want to like help foster a community for Conquest in your area. It's just like if you want to like organize tournaments properly and like get assistance in organizing those from Parabellum, then you join the Vanguard program and you have to like apply and get approved and all that. It's like lots of game companies have similar programs or had them. Like Privateer Press used to have a program called the Press Ganger program, so you could become a press ganger and be like a community organizer for War Machine games. Warhammer doesn't have anything like that because they're the monopoly and they don't have to do the healthy community practices that everyone else does. I mean, they should. Everything's different when it comes to Games Workshop because it's like a David and Goliath. Goliath is Games Workshop and David is like every other game company, sort of. And I think Infinity has a program called the War Corps, or like you can become a War Corps, and it's like the same thing. Weird Games, a company that does Malifaux, has something like that as well. It's like tabletop war games kind of live and die off the community of people who play them, and they all kind of rely on some sort of like volunteer tournament organizer effort to like keep the game alive. Again, unless you're Games Workshop doesn't live or die by that. They live or die by the whales that buy all their product. That's their business strategy, is to market to the whales and not much else. The industry standard doesn't really apply to Games Workshop, but at the same time they affect the industry standard. Ooh, I just did a really messy job on that shape. Gonna have to tidy that up later. All this talk about Games Workshop's getting me heated. Can't paint straight anymore. Sunrise. Barbatos is a very violent Gundam. They and their pilot has killed many people. Morple. Thank you, Biddy Bot. Bro 78. What do you mean I should get into kit bashing, Biddy Bot Bro? Have you seen any of my other Gunpla builds? Like, they're all kit bashed. The one I'm painting right now is kit bashed. It's just like not a major kit bash. Between my 100 Kingdoms and Spires army, there's like 16 or 17 kit bashes now. The Nord's army I'll be working on after this Barbatos project is gonna have hella kit bashing. that shape. I drew a little too large. Never paint angry. I can't help it when I talk about Games Workshop. Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty anti-Games Workshop since like 2015, so... I mean, it's increased more over the years. But I still have never played an actual game of Age of Sigmar. Competitive kit bashing? Do you mean like a speed kit bashing competition or something? That sounds like a fun panel at a anime convention. Or not panel, I guess the activity would be the better word. Oh, I did the back already. Okay. Let's do the side, I guess. I mean, I've entered kit-bashed pieces into gunpla competitions. Does that count as competitive kit-bashing? The two I've won with weren't kit-bashes, though. Oh, well, no, I guess I did. The first gunpla contest I entered my master grade Barbatos, which had a decent amount of kit bashing. Yeah, I mean, collecting, building, painting Warhammer is still valid. I just do it with non-Warhammer models. Or, like, I'll still buy some Warhammer models used, though. Bandai hosted a kit bashing competition. Interesting. Hello, Michael. You are working on the Delanza? Oh, no. Yeah, I've definitely been frustrated before trying to brush paint something onto a gloss surface. I feel you there. Yeah, exactly. Lesson learned. That's the best way to learn is through failure. Excuse me. Also, excuse me. Oh no, I got the hiccups now. The Delanza is a great one. Yep, gloss black is recommended for shifter paint, but to be honest, when I use shifter paint on my gunpla, I'm just using the same like basic black primer that I use for everything. It's not like a specialized gloss. If I was doing, I would go for a, try and go for a gloss black perhaps, if like the main armor panel of something was shifter paint and I was going for like a really shiny metallic look. I just like, I have a hard enough time as it is with dust, and when you have a gloss coat, it just gets so much worse. Alright, looks like we're almost done this leg. This leg of the journey, you could say. Alright. Oh yeah, pet fur. If you got a pet, don't even bother with the gloss varnish. Or do, it's your hobby, your way. Just be ready to get some pet hairs on that nice gloss finish. Alright. What do we have that still needs its initial freehand? Right, we got the waist, the chest, the head, this arm. I think I'll work on this arm because we've completed one arm already, so I got a basic thing available to copy. Just gotta put this back. Trying to remember how this fits in. Oh, it probably has to go this way. Nani? This was, okay, there we go. I was like, this was attached before, surely it shouldn't be that hard to reattach. Okay, arm. have to do the round of edge highlighting on there. I feel like while I'm doing that, I should probably work on these hands. Those weren't that exciting to paint on stream though. I'll finish those off camera. I think I'll finish up this arm, and then that'll probably be at a good spot to end the stream for today. Because we're at hour 34 right now. Let's see, yeah, we're gonna have to do the black and the purple highlight. There is... I think I'll try and reactivate this gray first. You heard what means, Cyber Scorpio? The metal Barbatos. Yeah, that probably would stand up better. Adios, bitty bot, bro. Yeah, it seemed like there's enough gray here to just reactivate it. I think that'll be fine for finishing up the second round of gray highlights on the arm here. The arm has an easier point to attach the skewer to as well. Gonna put the finished piece on a skewer too, so it's not just lying on the mat to collect dust. I mean, it'll still collect dust in the air, it'll just be less. Oh, Nani. Yeah, I was just saying Nani, and like I was having a brain fart trying to put a shoulder piece back together. Yeah, you know, still a wee bit hard. Alright, back to some good old edge highlighting just for a bit. And the edge highlighting is pretty... Oh, come on, focus. Focus. Don't know why the camera's having such a hard time with this. The edge highlighting is crucial in these areas where I did the very messy seam or gap removal. So work was subpar, but I can like fake scribe / sharpen out the details with the edge highlighting. So feel free to call me a hack, I guess. Sarcasm. Also, this little dot at the top, I kind of want to give it a dollop of shifter paint so it matches a similar detail that's on the leg piece. It sure is handy to be able to just reactivate the paint from 2 days ago instead of adding more from the pot. I mean, that also just says I put too much on the palette earlier. The Luminaria Zaku Warrior is your next master grade build. I like the Zaku Warrior design. I haven't built one of those master grades yet. After your gun sniper and your Tyrannid. Heck, I mean, I was talking with a builder at Odafest this year, and I said something along the lines of like, I said I was gonna do this, but I did this instead, so I guess I cheated. And he was like, it's not called cheating, that's just called modeling. Yeah, on the underside of the arm here, you can kind of see more what I mean of the sloppy seam line removal. That's also why I decided to paint these particular sections black, because I know it's easier to hide the crimes, as you said, on black, because, you know, the shadows just eat up those mistakes. Oh yeah, I'll like switch between projects frequently. The issue is, like, if I'm using a wet palette, I like to, you know, save the palette paper at the end with all the paint throughout the project built up on it, because it's like a cool just like splotch of colors. And the problem between like switching to different projects is like I've been really testing the limits of this palette paper with this project. I should have changed the paper by now, because it's been like probably at least a month going. It's been interrupted by some road trips I had to go on. So I am trying to like get this one done just because I don't want to like the paper to just totally deteriorate, but I do switch between projects a lot of the time to appease the old ADHD, you know? Unfortunately, that is one of the reasons why I'm bad at being a YouTuber. Because the proper YouTuber thing to do would just be to like only hand paint Gundams ever. And just every video needs to be a crowd-pleasing Gundam project. And if I had stuck to that, perhaps I would be in less of a precarious financial situation now. But I honestly don't think I could have even done it. Like, if I wasn't able to make a couple videos for myself, I would have just quit. So, and like the extra money I would have gotten just from, and that I theorized that I would have gotten from doing like nothing but crowd-pleasing videos wouldn't have even been that much, because YouTube ad revenue pay is pretty bad considering how much work needs to go into it. I guess that's for if you're like a modeling channel like me. If you're a commentary channel or like certain other kinds of channels, you can do the laziest kind of work and get way more views than any gunpla video could ever hope to get. The system's rigged, I tell you. I could rant about this all day, though. As I'm sure many others could. Okay, the gray highlight's done there. And we just need to add a splash of the pinks to the purple here. Reactivate it for that. Ah yes, painting cabinet sides and doors black unfortunately shows everything. Yeah, that's works a bit differently when it's a large flat surface of a cabinet, unfortunately. In Hollywood they say make one for them and make one for yourself. Yeah. I think I heard John Mayer, I think it was John Mayer, say something like 2 for them, 1 for me, in reference to like more crowd-pleasing pop songs and like the more guitar player bluesy songs. With YouTube, it's more like 10 for them, 1 for you. I don't know, it's hard to put a blanket statement on like that because there's so many different channels out there that just function differently. But it seems like the last year in particular, models that are channels that revolve around making things, like whether that's models, crafting, painting, have just like not, it seems like everyone has kind of been suffering, and I don't exactly know why. The stuff that's like commentary reaction is still doing well, as it seems to eternally do. Oh yeah, and the whole copyright strike system is extremely flawed too. It's very unfair. Alright, now for a more exciting purple edge highlight. Yeah, that's the thing with video game music. I know like some pretty big YouTubers will use video game music for like their background. And seemingly some video games out there are just like chill about it. But going by what you're saying, Castlevania Lords of Shadow is not chill about it. Like, two that come to mind are Pancreas No Work and Leadhead. I guess they both fall into the broad category of like video essay, sort of. I don't know, it's hard to say. But I've seen both of them just like, use the Minecraft soundtrack or the Age of Mythology or Age of Empires soundtrack. It's like they don't have like a link to Epidemic Sound or anything in their description. I mean, those soundtracks wouldn't be on Epidemic Sound, but you know what I mean. Problem is that always like freaks me out with the music or clips or whatever. It's like things can seemingly be fine, and then like months or years down the line, the copyright bot like scans your channel again and be like, actually this is not fine anymore. One of my favorite anime YouTubers, Trixie the Golden Witch, is like showcased that problem a lot, how like videos she made years ago just like will be fine for a while and then not be fine. And like meanwhile, if you're looking at everything in a vacuum, it's like this has been valid under fair use the entire time. Copyright bots don't give a shit though. It's very anti-creator. Yeah, I can see Konami being at fault there. So a lot of the Japanese companies just have no chill. It's a shame. There's a horse's rear end in every crowd. That is the one plus about being in the... Well, I say it's one plus about being in the model painting, modeling, crafting genres. You tend to use less clips from shows. Like, I've used some sometimes when I need to, like, make a joke or a reference. But I can get away with doing it, like, a very short clip where I don't have to worry about the robots. And even if I did, it would be fair use. I have had issues with music being claimed, though, fraudulently. It's just terrible that, like, a nobody using a fake account can use the system in the current way it's set up to pretend that they own the rights to the music, claim the video, stop you from earning income on it, and like you just gotta like go through the process to prove otherwise, and there's no repercussions for the person using the fake account. Oh, hello, Otaku Builder. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. I haven't watched your latest video. It's on my Watch Later playlist, though. Happy Sunday indeed. I always appreciate Otaku Builder for their... when they do a model kit that isn't a Gundam. But of course, their Gundams are very well done. Otaku Builder, are you going to play Gundam Breaker 4? I was explaining in my stream the other day the dilemma I'm having with it, where like it's like a game I'm very much into, because it's a game where you literally like kitbash, gunpla, and can do custom paint and stuff, and then, you know, play an action video game with the gunpla you just kitbashed. Ooh, there's a chunk of something getting painted on there. But then at the same time, playing Gundam Breaker 4 will take away from my time of actually painting and kitbashing physical gunpla in my hand. Which I think at the end of the day, that's what I'll pick. I appreciate the existence Gundam Breaker 4. Much like FromSoft games, don't actually play them myself. It's more of a turn-based game person, but I appreciate the existence of, you know, Armored Core 6. Hello, Bittybot, bro. Welcome back. It's part of the reason why I didn't get around, or I like saved the money and didn't buy Armored Core 6, even though I knew it was like, yeah, this game looks awesome. It's like I saw like the amount of customization you could do to your mech in it, and I'm like, if I play this game, it will severely take away from the time I spend in like kit bashing plastic mechs in real life. So I will just appreciate this game from a distance. Also, I'm not very good at FromSoft games because, like I said, more of a turn-based game person. So I'll just leave it to the other folks. But obviously, if someone like set me down on a chair and was like, you have to play Armored Core 6 right now, I'd be like, all right. Okay, I think we just need to do... Oh, we gotta do this little bit at the back here and the bicep, and then we do the freehand. Alright, CF Fangire Saga. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate you. I'm sure many people had their love for mecha sparked by the original Armored Core Clayton. Sorry, I mixed up your initials there. Flayton, that could be our evil character alter ego. Flayton, who flays their enemies. Alright, time to edge highlight this bicep. Hopefully the camera stays in focus. Come on. Just gotta hold the piece a bit lower. Oh my god, it is not having a good time. Lancer pilot, yeah, there you go. Your Lancer pilot, or your Lancer frame. The Flayton, piloted by Clayton. I am noticing there is some inconsistencies in how I highlighted the bicep on either side here. Like this gap, little gap here specifically. It's like painted on one and not on the other. But again, you won't be seeing like both sides of the bicep at the same time at any angle, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Freehand time. No, Clayton, he flays your skin off. Or flaying the skin off the mecha, I guess that just means like tearing off the outer armor panels. Alright, for the freehand, we should have enough paint if we just add a dollop of beaten purple. Darken down the current mix a tad. Oh, we almost got a big splat of purple into the green there. The real paint project is what the palette looks like at the end. I'm glad I've been saving the palette paper because I got a solid collection of them going now, and it can be like, wow, I've painted so much purple. Oh, purple, blue, and red is like the main ones. I need to just go pee real quick. I can't hold it. So I'll get to that freehand in like 1 minute. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Apologies for that brief interruption. The real paint project was the friends we made along the way. Ain't that the truth? You can definitely say that when it comes to tabletop war games, because you gotta make friends to play the games with people. Alright. Let's get some freehand on this. And this one's on the inside of the bicep, so not super visible. One little apostrophe. And the other side. slightly bigger apostrophe, but we got two tails to it. So I guess it's no longer an apostrophe. And we will copy the same for the other side. And what did I put on the front? Nothing. That seems like an oversight. Let's paint something on the other one. It needs something there. It's a square that's empty and it's just asking for some freehand. Even though this bicep is a little bent, so... Or the arm is more bent, so it's less visible. There, easy. I also didn't put anything... Okay, I'm not gonna bother the freehand on this super bent bicep because it's like just not gonna be visible at all. But I feel like I will paint something on the other one because it is a lot more visible. And we'll just do like a basic apostrophe or two apostrophes that connect. Yeah, the shapes on the arm, or like the open spaces for the freehand on the arm, are a lot smaller compared to the legs, so a bit more of a challenge to get effective freehand painting on there. Wow, that's a pretty Chad charisma roll there. You just straight up get to marry the king. I need to take this piece off the clip to get a better look. That had to have been a nat 20, I'm guessing. Alright, let's replicate this on the other side. Sorry, I got real quiet to concentrate there. Yeah, the shapes I'm kind of on the fence about, to be honest. But that'll, if I change anything, that will be in the like final stages of the freehand when I'm like just getting it real neat and tidy. The best power in D&D is love. Okay. That might be all the painting I'm gonna do on this stream, but before I wrap things up, there are enough finished pieces now we can partially assemble, and that's always fun. Unfortunately, the waist isn't done, so I'm not gonna connect the waist thrust or the legs to the waist and the waist thrusters to the waist yet. But got our leggies here and the feets. And of course, the arms and the shoulders. Yeah, I can feel things, or I can feel the whole paint scheme starting to come together now. Look at these fancy gams here. It's still very much at the messy stage in my opinion, but we're starting to get closer and closer to the finished result, and it's exciting. Being an effective tank frustrates the DM. Yeah, I can get that. Okay, well, since I did do a stream yesterday morning as well, I'm feeling a little fatigued, but definitely have at least one more stream for this project. Do it tomorrow night, and then that might be the last stream for the project. I'll say there's a decent chance there'll be one other stream Tuesday morning though, and then well, right now it seems like I'm on track to definitely get this project done by October or by September. Oh God, can you imagine? Yeah, real life is kind of interfering with getting a consistent video schedule as always, but I'm aiming to have a consistent streaming schedule now that the road trip season is sort of over. But, there will be a video involving this Barbatos eventually. Yep, I'm definitely going to make some jokes about it being an Evangelion color scheme in the script. You can count on that. Yeah, the green is going to be getting the gradient treatment, so one of the Barbatos's melee attacks are going to be these glowing neon green stabby toes. All right, and yeah, then we'll do this knee bit and feet bit and bits on the arm here. Those are gonna get glowing effects, and it's gonna have glowing green eyes. All right, so I haven't confirmed it yet, but can safe guess that there'll be another stream tomorrow evening. I'll finish the rest of this stages painting off camera tomorrow, so today, so tomorrow's stream probably be like finishing up the black edge highlights, maybe a bit of tidying up the purple. The green glow on the weapon and stuff, that I don't think will take too long, so that'll probably just be recorded for the video and not done on stream. Alright, I'll stop waffling now. Thank you all for coming to this chill Sunday morning stream. Sorry it's about 20 minutes shorter than yesterday's stream. And your viewership is much appreciated, and thanks again for the super chat, Otaku Builder. Okay, goodbye everybody. Have a good morning /